Welcome to Faith and Science, the place where timeless revelation meets today's research. There's a small black seed so tiny it can slip through your fingers, but so powerful that over 1,400 years ago, the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, said, "In the black seed there is healing for every disease except death." For centuries, people used this seed in their kitchens and traditional remedies, while many others ignored it completely. But now, modern science, with all of its microscopes, its journals, and clinical trials, is beginning to confirm what faith declared long ago. And what we're about to discover is why this little seed, Nigella Sativa, may be the world's most ignored yet most powerful anti-inflammatory food. So, let's start with the real problem. Inflammation. Most people think inflammation is just swelling after an injury. You cut your hand, it gets red and puffy. That's inflammation. And yes, in the short term, inflammation is your body's firefighter. It protects you. But when this fire doesn't shut off, when inflammation turns chronic, it becomes a hidden blaze, slowly burning inside your body. Doctors call it the silent killer. It corrodes arteries, raising the risk of heart disease. It disrupts insulin, fueling diabetes. It worsens asthma, allergies, arthritis. It even accelerates aging and diseases of the brain, like Alzheimer's. Now imagine if there was a natural way to calm that fire, to put out the flames before they destroy the house. That's where black seed enters the story. Inside this seed is a compound called Thymoquinone. This is where the magic happens. Science shows that Thymoquinone can block something called the NF-κB pathway. Think of it as a master switch for inflammation. When NF-κB is flipped on, inflammation spreads everywhere. Black seed flips it off. It also reduces an enzyme called COX, too. If you've ever taken ibuprofen or other painkillers, those drugs work by targeting COX, too. Black seed does something similar, but naturally, and it lowers cytokines like IL-6 and TNF-alpha, the chemical messengers that scream inflammation all over the body. So essentially, this little seed is like a fire extinguisher for your cells. Animal studies have shown it protects brain cells, reduces swelling, and even improves blood sugar control. Human studies, although smaller, have shown it can help ease asthma symptoms, lower blood pressure, and improve cholesterol. This isn't superstition. This is science. Now let's get practical, because I know you're wondering, how do I use it? Traditionally, people took black seed with honey, sprinkled on bread, or brewed it into tea. Today, many use black seed oil. Research studies usually use around 500 to 1,000 milligrams of the oil per day, or about 2 to 3 grams of the seeds, roughly a teaspoon. But remember, this is food, not a drug. Too much can upset your stomach or interact with medications. The wisdom lies not in excess, but in balance. And interestingly, that's exactly what faith also teaches. Think about this. The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, gave us that powerful saying about black seed. Hazrat Ali, peace be upon him, advised, do not make your stomach a graveyard of animals. Practice moderation, and you will not need medicine. Doesn't that sound exactly like what modern nutritionists tell us? Eat in balance, eat more natural foods, and your body heals itself. And Hazrat Imam Jafar al-Sadiq, peace be upon him, who is considered a fountain of both spiritual and medical knowledge, said that every food carries a temperament, an energy, a nature. Remedies, he explained, only work when they align with the body's balance. Isn't that holistic medicine? Isn't that what functional nutrition is built on today? So black seed isn't just another supplement. It is a bridge between revelation and research, between tradition and modern medicine, between soul and science. Let me share some simple images. Imagine a man who wakes up every day with aching joints. He takes a handful of painkillers just to get through the morning. Yet in his cupboard sits a jar of black seeds. To him, it's nothing but a spice. But in reality, inside those seeds are compounds targeting the exact same inflammatory pathways as pills. Or think of a mother giving her child a spoon of honey mixed with black seed, a tradition passed down from her grandmother. She may not know the words NF-κB or Thymoquinone, but science now shows that mixture delivers antioxidants, strengthens immunity, and fights inflammation. This is not myth. This is a convergence of faith and science. And let's go even deeper, because it gets more fascinating. Scientists discovered that Thymoquinone doesn't just block inflammation, it also activates something called the NRF2 pathway. That's like flipping on your body's internal defense system. Suddenly, your own cells start producing more protective enzymes. They fight oxidative stress, which is basically the rusting that makes you age and fall ill. So when you take black seed, you're not only putting out the fire, you're also strengthening the fire department. At the same time, faith reminds us that food is not just fuel, it is a trust. Hazrat Imam Jafar al-Sadiq, peace be upon him, warned that gluttony and imbalance destroy health no matter how powerful the remedy. Isn't that profound? Modern science spends billions to discover antioxidants, yet faith told us balance and discipline are the keys to lasting health. And the research continues. A 2017 meta-analysis showed black seed improved blood sugar control in people with type 2 diabetes. A 2018 study found it reduced asthma severity. Other trials reported lower LDL cholesterol and better blood pressure. And now, oncology labs are testing it as a supportive compound in cancer therapy, not as a cure, but as a way to calm the body's storm of inflammation and stress. Think about that. A seed that was once dismissed as folklore is now being tested in cancer labs. That's how far faith was ahead of science. So what does all this mean for you? It means the answers we desperately chase in expensive pills often lie quietly in our kitchens. It means there is no gap between revelation and research. There's a bridge. And sometimes that bridge is built on something as small as a seed. Healing does not begin with magic. It begins with wisdom. It begins with what you choose to eat, how you live, and whether you respect a guidance that was gifted long before you were born. So here's my challenge to you. Don't ignore it. Try adding a little black seed into your life. Maybe in honey, maybe in tea, maybe as oil. Use it wisely in balance, not as a replacement for medicine, but as part of a life of moderation. And most importantly, let this remind you that truth shines brightest when faith and science walk hand in hand. If this message resonated with you, don't keep it to yourself. Subscribe to Faith and Science so you don't miss more revelations where tradition and research meet. Share this video with your family and friends because healing spreads when knowledge spreads. And write your questions below in the comments because in future episodes we'll answer them with both faith and science. Remember, knowledge grows when you share it, healing multiplies when it's passed on, and truth becomes unstoppable when both revelation and reason confirm it. This is Faith and Science. And before we close, here's a simple disclaimer. This video is for educational purposes only. It is not meant to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent disease. Always consult your physician for medical advice. Our purpose is to inform and inspire, not to prescribe.